Well, unless you've been living under a rock for the last couple of decades, you probably know that ABC News or ABC Network features a daytime talk show. Yes, it's a daytime talk show, better known as The View. Now, because it's a daytime talk show, most of the people who watch tend to be female or tend to be unemployed or both. Few men apparently do, but mostly women who watch it according to the Nielsen numbers. Well, anyway, they've just finished up their broadcast year for this year, and the Media Research Center decided to figure out how many people they had on who were liberal and how many people were guests when it came to politics. Not everybody they ever have on that show is politically related, so they just decided. Well, it turns out in the year 2025, they had 341 guests. Now, that's a pretty good number. However, of those, 128 were liberal, and liberal politics because that's what they talked about. Only two were conservative. Now, if you watch the show, you know it's pretty well left to center. It's not even on the center. It's far enough left, it's almost tipping over. Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, and the cast of other ladies on this thing. This is what they discuss. This is where they go. Now, Joy Behar has made a point of saying, well, Republicans and the conservatives don't want to come on the show. Well, that's been refuted because a number of people have talked about it and fessed up and said, yeah, we tried to get onto the show, but the producers don't want anything to do with us. Now, that's their call. That happens to be what they believe in. That happens to be their way of thinking. And that is their business plan, if you will. Now, of the two people they had on, who were conservative, by the way, just so you know, two people who were conservative. One was the wife of Robert Kennedy. Now, the Kennedys, were Democrats. His wife was on. But they considered her a conservative because her husband is in the Trump administration. And the second one was Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's a firebrand, and she's announced that she is stepping down from Congress officially, the first of the year. By the way, she's scheduled to be on The View shortly after The View restarts up in January. And apparently, they've been trying to convince her, namely, all the folks on The View are trying to convince her to change her party and become a Democrat. Well, that's fine. If she wants to do that, that's her call. You could do whatever you choose to do. But when you realize the people they've had on from the left, including the likes of Tammy Duckworth, John Fetterman. Fetterman, though, senator from Pennsylvania, actually tends to be pretty conservative. But they've had on Gretchen Whitmer, they've had Elizabeth Warren, Jamie Crockett. She's a firebrand. And let's see how many they've had. They've had Governor Pritzker on from Illinois, Chuck Schumer on, Cory Booker. I mean, just a whole bunch of people on the left. And that's who they talk to. But keep in mind, ABC, the producers determine who they get on the show. And now we're finding out producers have said to conservative people, no, we don't want you on our show. And also, they've not had the ability to find anybody who's conservative to be on the panel. Now, we know CNN has got one guy. He actually does a pretty good job. He takes down people when they need to be taken down. But in this case, The View can't find anybody and apparently doesn't want anybody. So if you really want to be assured that The View is a highly liberal left-wing program, well, 128 liberal guests and 2 conservative guests, neither of whom were considered to be conservative. Something to know. And how will it change in 2026? Well, that's yet to be determined. We shall see when the year turns and find out, is The View going to be fair or continue with their particular political stance? We'll know soon. And now, so will you. And now you know.